is moving fast. Let's break it down. Welcome to AI Assembled, where we curate the biggest AI stories and unpack what they mean to you. I'm Chris Doelle, bringing you the latest in AI so you can stay ahead of the curve. Let's dive in.
Chris just passed the mic, and you know what we're here for. Getting you focused on the really important AI stuff from the past week. We're going to cut through the noise.
Yeah, skip the endless scrolling, right? We've boiled it down.
Exactly. And honestly, some of this week's news feels pretty foundational. Could really change things.
Definitely. It feels like more than just small steps this week. Some potentially big leaps in, how AI works and how we'll use it.
Okay, so let's jump right into what I think is maybe the biggest headline. The one that makes you go, whoa. OpenAI's ChatGPT. It's now going to remember, well, basically everything you've ever told it.
That's the one. Yeah, Sam Altman tweeted about it, called it a greatly improved memory.
Greatly improved is maybe an understatement.
Simply. But yeah, the idea is it can reference your whole chat history. It's rolling out to pro users first, then plus soon.
Just think about that for a sec. All the stuff you talked about, the context, the details, it becomes part of its long-term understanding of you. We could be heading towards genuinely personal AI companions.
Exactly. That's the potential, right? It gets around that old limitation, the short context window.
Right.
Imagine a research assistant AI that actually remembers the topic you were digging into 3 months ago.
Or a coding buddy that recalls that tricky bug you're stuck on last project.
Precisely. The efficiency gains, the personalization, it could be huge.
Now, it's not quite everywhere yet, is it? There are some exceptions.
Right, yeah. If you're listening in the EEA, the UK, Switzerland, Norway, Iceland, or Liechtenstein, you're not getting it just yet.
Probably data privacy stuff.
Almost certainly. Navigating all those different regulations is, complex. Altman even joked about calling Liechtenstein to sort it out.
Okay. But it does show how tricky this global rollout stuff is.
It really does. And this kind of persistent memory feature, it needs super careful handling of privacy laws region by region. So the phased rollout makes sense.
And crucially, if you're feeling a bit, weird about it, remembering everything, OpenAI is giving options. You can opt out completely.
Yep. Or use temporary chat.
Right, for those one-off things you don't want feeding into its long-term memory.
Which is smart. Giving users that control is key, isn't it? Especially as these systems get deeper into our lives. Temporary chat for sensitive stuff seems like a good balance.
Okay, sticking with OpenAI for just a moment longer. Let's talk money. Big money.
Yes. The valuation news.
Reportedly, they've closed a funding deal, valuing them at, $300 billion.
That's the number floating around, $300 billion.
Which is nuts. Didn't it nearly double in just 6 months?
Pretty much, yeah, if those reports hold up. It just shows incredible investor confidence, doesn't it?
Okay.
Belief in AI's future and OpenAI's kind of lead position in generative AI.
$300 billion. Just trying to wrap my head around that. Puts them way up there with the biggest private tech firms.
Absolutely. And even with some, ongoing debate about how quickly AI is really changing things on the ground, investors are clearly seeing a massive long-term opportunity.
So what's driving that? Just the potential, the future breakthroughs.
I think it's that long-term vision, continued rapid progress, new applications nobody's even thought of yet, Gen AI becoming embedded across every industry.
Right.
And this kind of cash, it gives OpenAI a huge amount of resources for R&D, for talent, for infrastructure.
A massive war chest, basically,
to
push the boundaries. And you mentioned their enterprise focus earlier. That's probably a big part of this valuation too, right?
Oh, definitely. The enterprise market is a huge prize, and OpenAI has been making serious moves there. This funding could really turbocharge that.
So, of course, it also ramps up the competition even more.
For sure. Everyone's fighting for a piece of that pie.
Okay, let's switch gears. Google. They've unveiled something called the Agent-to-Agent Protocol, A2A. Let's unpack that. What's the goal here?
So this is interesting. Google's trying to get different AI agents to talk to each other better. A2A is basically a proposed open standard to let AI agents communicate securely, share info, coordinate tasks, across different company systems.
So if I've got one AI doing inventory and another doing logistics, A2A would be like the language they use to cooperate, even if they weren't built by the same company.
Exactly that. Creating a more connected AI agent ecosystem. Think customer service bot handing off a tricky case to a specialist bot seamlessly.
That sounds potentially really powerful for businesses. A whole new level of automation.
That's the idea.
Is it just Google pushing this, or are others involved?
No, it's definitely collaborative. They've got over 50 tech partners and service providers already signed up or contributing.
Oh, wow. Like who?
Big names. Atlassian, Salesforce, SAP on the tech side, Accenture, Delight on the services side.
Okay, so broad buy-in. That suggests the industry sees the need for this kind of interoperability.
Definitely. It's like building the roads and pipes for a future where AI agents work together more autonomously.
You mentioned it complements Anthropic's protocol, MCP. How do they fit together?
Yeah, good question. Think of MCP as helping one AI model get better context for a specific task.
Yeah.
A2A is more about how those capable agents can then interact and collaborate with other agents across different systems. They solve different but related problems.
Gotcha. So what are the design principles behind A2A? What did Google focus on?
They listed 5 main things. 1, embrace how agents actually work, give them flexibility. 2, build on existing web stuff like HTTP, JSON RPC.
Makes sense. Easier adoption.
Right. 3, security first, built in from the start. 4, support for long tasks because some AI jobs take time. And 5, modality agnostic, handle text, images, whatever.
Okay, and how does an interaction actually work? Like Agent A wants Agent B to do something.
Pretty much, you have a client agent asking and a remote agent doing. It involves finding out what the other agent can do. They use these things called agent cards.
Like a capability profile?
Sort of, yeah.
Yep.
Then managing the task, collaborating via messages, even figuring out the user experience together.
You mentioned a candidate sourcing example. How would A2A help there, just briefly?
Right. So imagine a recruiter using a platform like Agent Space, which uses A2A.
Okay.
They tell their AI agent, find me software engineers with skill X in city Y. That agent could then use A2A to ping other agents, one spanning LinkedIn, maybe another checking GitHub profiles.
Oh, I see.
They share data, filter candidates based on the criteria, and boom, the recruiter gets a curated list back in one place, much faster.
Right, connects the dots between specialized AIs.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Okay.
Okay, let's pivot to Amazon. Andy Jassy's shareholder letter, big focus on AI there too.
Huge focus. Jassy basically said Gen AI is going to reinvent pretty much every customer experience.
Okay, strong words.
Very. He mentioned their early internal uses are, productivity, cost savings, customer service, workflows.
Standard stuff. But he sees it going much wider.
Oh, yeah. He expects AI to change everything from coding and search to shopping, personal assistance, healthcare. The list goes on. He really stressed the speed of it all.
And Amazon's investing heavily.
Massively. He said they have over 1,000 Gen AI applications being built across the company right now.
Wow, 1,000.
Yeah. And he talked about AWS providing the building blocks, their custom Trainium 2 chips for training.
Right, the silicon.
SageMaker and Bedrock for building models, their own Amazon Nova models, and tools for creating agents. The whole stack.
Did he talk about the cost? AI is notoriously expensive right now.
He did. He actually sounded optimistic that it doesn't have to be this expensive and won't be in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he pointed to chips as the biggest factor and said their Trainium 2 offers better price performance. Reducing inference costs, actually using the models is key.
Makes sense. Training is one thing, but running these things constantly adds up. And then there was Alexa plus Say. What's the story there?
Right, Alexa plus Sus. He positioned it as a major upgrade, like as smart as the top chatbots, but it can also do things in the real world.
So not just answering questions, but playing music, controlling your lights, ordering stuff, making reservations.
Exactly, combining conversational smarts with real-world action capabilities.
And with, 600 million Alexa devices out there?
Over 600 million, yeah. The implication is clear. They see Alexa Plus becoming this super intelligent central hub for a massive number of users, a really integrated personal assistant.
Interesting. Okay, let's shift to Adobe. They're also talking AI vision, but focusing on agentic AI. What's their angle?
Adobe's view is that AI should empower humans, take away the grunt work, let people focus on the creative, impactful stuff.
So AI is a helper, not a replacement.
Pretty much. They stress that AI agents aren't creative themselves, but they can be amazing tools for sparking ideas, speeding up content creation.
Any examples in their tools?
Yeah, they mention things like Acrobat, analyzing a document to help craft a sales pitch, or Express generating an animated flyer from scratch.
Okay. And for the pros, using Photoshop or Premiere.
The goal is to weave these agents right into the workflow. Imagine Photoshop looking at your image and suggesting smart edits based on context. Or Premiere Pro helping with a rough cut, suggesting shots, even assisting with color and audio mixing.
They mention things like distraction removal in Photoshop and media intelligence in Premiere as steps towards that.
Exactly. Those are foundational pieces. Understanding the content, automating specific tasks that builds towards more comprehensive agent help.
And they've got this upcoming actions panel in Photoshop.
Yeah, that sounds like their first real creative agent. It'll analyze the image and recommend specific, context-aware edits. It's moving towards software that anticipates what you need.
And similar groundwork in Premiere with understanding video content.
Right. Media intelligence lets Premiere understand what's in the video, which paves the way for agents that can help with more complex editing decisions.
Okay, now for something a bit different. Mira Murati, ex-OpenAI CTO, a new startup.
Yep. Thinking Machines Lab. And the funding rumor is wild.
How wild?
They're reportedly trying to raise a $2 billion seed round.
Seed round. $2 billion.
I know. Possibly valuing the company at $10 billion or more. And this is a company basically just out of stealth. No product, no revenue yet.
That's extraordinary. What's the rationale? Just her name.
Her name and the team she's apparently assembling. Reports say lots of top AI researchers, including some big names from OpenAI like Bob McGrew and Alec Radford as an advisor.
Okay. So it's a huge bet on the talent, on this team potentially building the next big thing.
That seems to be the play. Betting on their experience and expertise to push beyond current AI limits. Their stated goal is AI that's more widely understood, customizable, and generally capable.
Got it. A bet on the people and the vision. Okay, a couple more quick hits. Partnerships, Accenture and Google Cloud.
Yeah, they're deepening their collaboration. They've worked together before, like in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Now they're expanding it to accelerate enterprise AI adoption more broadly, focusing on things like customer experience, modernizing mainframes, edge computing for utilities, manufacturing.
So helping big companies actually use AI effectively.
Exactly. Combining Accenture's industry knowledge with Google's tech to tackle those implementation challenges in big organizations.
Makes sense. And finally, this startup Gen layer, using blockchain for AI agents. That sounds unique.
It is pretty unique. They just raised $7.5 million. The core idea is building trust infrastructure for when AI agents start doing business with each other autonomously.
How does blockchain help with AI trust?
They have two main concepts. Intelligent contracts, AI-powered agreements that understand natural language.
Okay.
And optimistic democracy, which is basically a consensus system using multiple LLMs as validators, like a decentralized court for AI commerce.
A court system for AI run by other AIs on a blockchain. Wow.
Yeah. It's definitely thinking ahead. They're launching a testnet looking at AI-run supply chains, influencer marketing, DeFi, DAOs, AI insurance.
So enabling new kinds of autonomous AI business models.
That's the goal. Providing that layer of trust and accountability needed for AI agents to transact reliably without constant human checks.
Man, it is just incredible how fast things are moving and in so many different directions. AI memory, agent collaboration, mass evaluations, new trust systems.
It really is. This week alone gives such a picture of the breadth and depth of what's happening, from personalizing chatbots to restructuring how businesses might operate.
Yeah, definitely a lot to mull over.
For sure. It shows how AI is becoming more intelligent, more connected, more personal, and potentially much more autonomous. Loads to think about.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive for this week. It's certainly a lot, but hopefully this chat gave you a good handle on the key stories and why they matter.
Yeah, I hope it provided some useful context in this very fast-moving field.
Thanks so much for tuning in and diving deep with us. And with that, I'll hand the mic back over to Chris to close out the show.
That's it for this episode of AI Assembled, but AI doesn't slow down and neither do we. If you found this insightful, follow the show, stay connected. Until next time, stay curious, stay innovative, keep exploring AI, and keep it real.
Join the Business Success Academy at freshmediaworks.com to connect with like-minded professionals, access essential resources, and stay ahead with the latest strategies for business growth. Visit freshmediaworks.com and click on the Business Success Academy logo to take your next step towards success today.